Good
Welcome,
afternoon.
everyone. Jill DeWitt with Jack Butala here. Welcome to our Thursday afternoon weekly conference call.
Let us know you can hear us okay. Otherwise, it's just Jill and me talking to each other,
All right.
which we try to avoid at times.
Exactly. Goddess.
Awesome.
Thank you, Joel. And I saw, Joel, that your nice note that you, is it coming from here?
Yeah,
Sorry about that. Um,
we're going to address
the
some.
dumb time change.
We'll address some feedback here in a second.
Exactly. I just got that here. All right, and how we're going to do it is, I love it. Use that Q&A thing as you're doing. Ask a question, type in your thing. So if we want to use the chat for chat, and any side things, back of the room comments. You know what I mean? I like that for the chat, and then the Q&A for all of our questions for Jack and I to answer. Jack, are we ready for me to start?
Go for it.
All right. So, uh, I don't know if it's Echo or Eco asks, hey, if we're pulling a list for 5 acres in RealQuest, should we include the odd lot acreage? If so, what's an effective way? This is, yeah, you're exactly right. 5 through 5.9. That's exactly what you would do. We back up sometimes and do 4 point something through 5.16. Right, Jack? What did
Yeah,
you?
that's exactly how I
So
do it.
you're exactly right. So, and then keep a note of that. Very, very good question. All right, go ahead and give us some more questions here. That's why we're here. And um, Luke says, for the 5 property rules in Arizona, do they apply to land in the countryside or only for neighborhoods?
They apply to every property that is in a subdivision. And if you read the statute, I would encourage anybody who's buying property and selling it in Arizona. If you read the statute, it widely includes a ton of properties. But what you need to know about that, Luke, and we could talk about it on the sideline if you want, is that there's a ton of case law supporting the fact that it's not upheld. So it's only complaint driven. And I know this is way beyond the scope of what we probably should be talking about on this call, but if you reach out to me in the email um, tomorrow morning, I'll have it all ready to go for you. The echo is not you.
It is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it is. Sorry.
You just turn the volume down, maybe.
Try. Will you go on for a second?
Sure.
Fix this real quick.
Joel says, I'm trying to get title insurance for a deal. Is there anything specific to do to get started? I messaged the people at First American Title, but I haven't heard back from them. Here's the rule, especially if you're new. In fact, this is exactly what we did this morning. We're doing a pretty large deal. Find a title insurance company, and it doesn't necessarily have to be First American, that's closest to the land or closest to the county seat where the land is. Once you start doing a ton of deals, you can hire a person. You can hire a single title agent, and then he or she will do the same thing. Every time you do a transaction, that person, let's say it's in Phoenix, downtown Phoenix, and you're doing a deal in Colorado, the person in Phoenix will call the person in Colorado where the property is and complete the transaction. So then you only have a um, single point of contact. Yeah, going to like First American Corporate, it just doesn't work. We started a company called Title Mind. It's titlemind.com, and you'll see when it's going to be released if you actually go to the website, and it solves this problem. It's basically like Uber for title, you
Is
know.
this
So yeah,
this is one we're on?
yeah.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Okay, so I think I'm going to go with Samin asks, is Stripe still your go-to payment tool, or do you have another you like to
We
use?
use Blue
Thanks,
Pay,
Steve.
and we're connecting in the process of connecting Blue Pay so that all of you can use it on LandPin. We're
That's
we're very close to getting that done.
that's going to be the goal, and I am so excited.
It's all
Imagine
connected.
you'll have your property posted on Landpin. They could
They
check out right there and pay and have the money go in your account.
Stripe, if you read the agreement on Stripe, they don't allow real estate. BluePay not only allows real estate, they encourage it and like it and are insured for it. So BluePay rocks. We've
Mhm.
been really, really, really happy with that.
Yep.
Jill and I are just about to release hundreds and hundreds of properties for sale on LandPin ourselves, and so it's forcing the BluePay issue to
Mhm.
take
Speed it up because I'm
payments there.
about to use it.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Luke asks if I split up some land into lots of properties, like over 5 in Arizona, and sell them, am I making a neighborhood?
Well, the technical term is subdivision. Are you making a subdivision? And the answer is no. You have to go through the entitlements process to make a subdivision. So if the way you can tell, regular property between subdivision property and non-subdivision property is it has a legal description. If it's lot 16 in Fuzzy Acres, then that's subdivision. If it's a northeast quarter of the southeast quarter of whatever, then it's not. So no, you're not creating a subdivision. Look, I know what you mean.
Yep. All right. Tony asks, I'm working on purchasing my first property. Congratulations. Please provide me with the website to find a notary. On this first deal, the legal description says 2.5 acres. However, the county has it listed as 5 acres. Well, I run into a problem transferring title to me. Also, does the name on the certified check have to be exactly the same as the name listed with the county? These are all good questions.
Yeah,
First of all, I don't think Tony's in our world, and so I'm glad that you're here. I don't recognize his
he
name, so
is.
this is cool.
He's brand new.
Okay,
I
cool.
just had a call with him
Oh,
yesterday.
okay. Thank you. Sorry, Tony.
He's from Ohio,
Okay,
and
thank you.
Tony's killing it on his first. I mean, we did a deal review on 4 or 5
Nice.
properties that he sent out in California, and he's knocking it out of the park. He's probably going to make uh, 6 digits on this first
Cool.
mailer.
All right. Well, good. We're going to be hearing a lot about Tony then.
Yeah,
Okay, so you can Google it. One like it's like Notary 123 or 123 Notary
yeah.
is like my go-to site there. And when I'll give
Google
you
it for
some
sure.
tips. When you're looking at these notaries, pick a notary with a lot of transaction experience. They'll put in there how many types, how many closings they've done basically, and some of them have like thousands in there. So I always pick someone that kind of knows what they're doing. And also, I pick ones that what you do is when you go to that site, you put in the zip code of where the seller is, and it gives you the people in the area. So I try to pick ones that are real close, and obviously, and I also look for ones that have extended hours, because that just tells me this is not like they work in an office and they can only do it Tuesday nights. These some of them will say I'm a 24-hour notary, even so I pick those. And then when you call them, just tell them, hey, I'm doing a one page, or it's a one page deed. The second page is signature. Mr. and Mrs. Smith are going to be at home, all day Tuesday, kind of thing. And then they'll take it from there where you'll overnight it. I think you know how it goes with all that. Now on the legal description, yes, the legal description is going to be I mean, how do I say this?
When counties put legal description parcel sizes right in the legal
Oh,
description, I never trust them. There's 43,560 square feet in an acre, and if you just Google it, there's ways to if you have the perimeter length times width, which you usually have in a plat map, which you can pull from RealQuest or Title Pro, back into it that way.
mhm. And confirm it.
It requires 4th grade geometry.
Usually the legal description is going to be correct. If it's really written out and it's for the like Jack's talking about the northeast corner of the, you know,
Hmm.
whatever, then you can work it backwards and double check the size. Does the name on the certified check have to be exactly the same as the name listed with the county? No, because
Yeah,
no, and that's totally fine. Because I'll even ask the guy, how do you want me to make it out?
yeah,
And we're all cool. So good.
that's a good question.
Really good question. All right, Callie asks, I recently pulled a few lists out of RealQuest, and about 33 to 45% of mailing addresses are missing. So How's that?
It's
How's that
because
possible?
it's because the fields that you checked aren't correct,
Yeah.
or the county data is so bad, like you're in such a disorganized county. So real question and title per are only as good as the assessor's data that they receive. So it's one of those two things. My gut tells me it's the first one.
Hmm.
If you follow chapter 5 right to the letter, follow along with me. Like if you've got it on a TV or on your computer, you shouldn't have any problem at all.
Hmm. Cool. All right. Hello, Carrie and Rowdy. Hey, we just did. When
Yeah,
does that show air?
I think it already did.
Oh,
Or
cool.
if
Okay.
it didn't today, it might be today.
Yeah. If you haven't listened to it, we recorded a podcast with Rowdy and Kyria, and we had so much fun. It was like that was a long one too. We
Yeah,
just kept on going. We had a good chat. So awesome. All right, check it out. Rowdy asks, we bought 3 lots from the state of Arkansas in Holiday Island, and I got a limited warranty deed from the state on each property.
that's a that's shocking,
Hmm. Later,
shockingly
we
positive.
got a letter from the Holiday Island Suburban Improvement District saying that they foreclosed on them in 2014 for delinquent taxes. They want 1,500 apiece to pay the lawyer, and they will issue us a quitclaim deed. The state took the land back for taxes in 2007. If I have a limited warranty deed from the state, do I need to also get a quitclaim deed from the
No,
homeowner association? The county website shows this as a sole owners.
yeah, that's gonna So Arkansas is packed with HOAs like this. Um, HOAs or LOAs, homeowners associations, landowners associations. No, there can't be two deeds to a piece of property, at the same time. So you, it sounds to me like the HOA is just disorganized,
Hmm.
and the state really has. It's a matter of lien position. Taxes are a first lien. Real estate taxes hold a first lien position behind the IRS. This is like tax lien talk now.
Hmm.
So my guess is that you rightfully own it, and I would really send some cookies to the HOA people and say, look,
Get with the
well,
county.
you guys
I
need to
think you're
get
goofed
on the
up.
same page and write down my HOA fees because
Yeah.
I don't want it.
I'm
That's not
not
what
going
I
to pay
want.
back from, you know, the beginning of time here.
Jill sends cookies to the HOA people and they write them down to zero all the time for us.
So yeah, they can do that. Okay, Tony said, oh yeah, okay. I went back to the call last week to review how to put together a list of people from Landwatch, but since the call's not available, can you briefly show that again?
Yeah,
Yeah,
can I have the mouse?
sure. Okay, so Jack is pulling up Landwatch and he's going into search
Signature.
and he went to the signature.
This is a list of signature people.
That's them.
If you go to email me, so there's a big list of the right. These are triple A buyers of land,
Mhm.
and you say email me. This is what you get. Their email address.
It pops up.
I would heavily, highly encourage you, whoever you are, whether you're a member of the group or not,
Tony.
to get. Well, no, I know it's Tony,
Oh yeah.
but I mean, if any other listeners,
Oh.
to do this, and this is the beginning of your list. Then,
Mhm.
if you want to get nuts, there's a guy in our group that hired. We have two people in our group that approach this separately. One person hired a human being in Singapore to get the email address of every single property that's listed. These are all signature people. And then eventually, if you click through, you're going to get.
I love seeing our people. I love when I'm talking to somebody on the
Yeah,
phone
me too.
sometimes and I'm like, well, let's pull it up in Landwatch, and I'll pull up a property because we're looking at different comps all around different places. I'm like, hey, look, and we know that person.
So one person approached it that way. The other way you can do it is called scraping, and you can get some software which we use to get into the back end of this site. You can get Chrome extensions. There's a lot of different ways to approach it, and then or you can have somebody write an application for you. It's not expensive at all. Go
We
ahead.
we scroll down, Jack. I actually like this. Whoever this is, they're the land spot.
The land spot.
I like that. Thelandspot.com and they're in LA. That's awesome.
I wonder if somebody in our group.
I wonder if it's one of us. Yeah, who's the land spot? If it's you, let us know. It's cool. So, oh yeah, well, let's go check. Based on where they're buying property, and I'm thinking they're with us.
This really looks like
This is fantastic.
somebody's doing this right. Picked a good one. Oh, look at this.
Yeah.
All right,
This is
since we're
great.
talking about building an A list, go ahead.
About us. Click on the about us real quick. Let's see who it is.
Since we're talking about building an A list, she tells me what to do
Oh,
all the
Pat
time.
Elder.
Oh,
Okay.
sweet. That's awesome. It's one of our groups.
Okay.
Um, there's some free advertising. Since we're talking about building an A list, uh, this is the fastest way to build an A list. If you're in a group, you're a member of Landpin automatically, and you can go to choose any one of these properties. Site's nice and slow today. That makes me so happy. And share it on Facebook or and all the rest of these. It doesn't have to be your property. It could just be anything. And post it to Facebook. Um, and you'll see you can start collecting. It's going to generate a lot of traffic. You're going to start collecting. And make sure you join all the Facebook land groups. There's about 20 of them.
Oh, there's a ton.
There's probably
There's a lot.
There's a bajillion real estate investment groups, but the land groups specifically are for this. So
right. There's wholesale groups. There's so many.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Of course, you're on
Awesome.
Facebook. You can keyword search raw land and stuff, and you could come up with about 2 hours. In about 2 hours of intense research, you can get an A list that's 100 AAA buyers easy.
Nick says, I'm getting several sellers that want to sell from my mailing list, but when I look up the lot, I don't buy them for my offer price due to no access, no trees, often steep land. Jill, should I just cut my offer in half or more, explaining the offer price gets me properties that
Yes.
have trees and access? Yeah. What's a good approach, or should I just move on? So, I mean, that is, and I've done that. I had that
You just did it.
conversation. Yeah, you just did.
You just did it
Well,
this morning. I
oh,
heard you do it.
oh, I did. Yeah. That's there's a nice way to say, have you seen the property lately? And a lot of times they haven't.
Make sure you screenshot it. Screenshot it on your computer that you're concerned. Let's say it's no access, and email it to the seller and say, I don't know if you're aware of this. You've probably never seen the property, but there's no access.
Right. Here's
So-
how far it is from this. And sometimes I make it like well, here's the thing. Here's what I'll do too, Nick. I'll make it like a really big deal when it's
Yeah,
really not a
it's
big deal
not.
to us.
Yeah.
If I say, oh, this is really bad, it's only a dirt road, when I'm like, it's a dirt road. There's a road.
Right.
And so yeah, that's exactly right. And if they're not happy with that, then that's okay. You just pass, because you're not going to you're not going to over purchase.
Yeah.
You're not going to overspend because of whatever. And that's why you have also on your offer, you have 16, not 16, but you have a bunch of things listed here that when based on your review of the property, you may or may not act on it. So you can just say, gosh, I'm sorry. So I have some now. There's just some areas that I know the areas, and the property's too small that I don't really want to work with. So I know when I get those calls in and they say, hey, I have a property in X, I go, gosh, I'm really sorry, I'm not buying those right now. But
whoever Legacy Land and Farm is, they're knocking it out of the park here.
yeah, it's so good. All right, so Michael asked, hey, Michael, will Title Pro show liens like IRS or other type
No.
of lien? There's
No.
stuff in that. When you dig in Title Pro, though, when you pull a property report, it's pretty involved.
There's another RealQuest product that will shows lien research.
Title Pro. I'm trying to remember what's in Title, because it shows. You know what? I think on the property. You know what, Michael? Because when I'm trying to think of one right now that I don't have that I can show on screen. That's not like a really personal one. But go pull a property report. You get a couple free a month. and look
Yeah,
on there
yeah,
because
yeah.
it
There you
gives
go.
you
You're
you
like
when you
10 free.
sit and look on that, it gives you banking, it tells you lenders, it tells you how much the loan was, and it tells you if the loan was completed.
Yeah.
So you might have the answers right there,
And
and I'm just off the
when we
top of
were
my head,
when
I'm
we release the
yeah.
uh, gold member level, it includes a subscription to Realty Track,
Hmm.
which fills all the gaps in, and data trace too.
And will Title Mine do that? Well, the data trace through Title Mine and
Yeah, maybe.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, if you get title insurance, they check on all liens for sure.
So
That's the real answer.
mhm,
Get title. If you're concerned about it, get title insurance.
mhm. Michael asks, in Arizona, an affidavit of property value is required. Yes. There's a field for the sale amount. Yes. Should the new deed show consideration equal to the sales price or instead of the typical for
No,
good physician? Nope.
no, the counties will reject it.
Hmm.
You leave the $10, $1
Hmm.
good and yeah, leave that language alone.
Leave that on the deed, but on the actual affidavit of property value, then I do show the value. And if anyone ever charges any kind of doc prep fees or anything like that, I think some people still do. I leave that off. I only put down if I really bought the property for $500, I show $500, even though if they paid me $99 for me to record it for them or something
Hey,
like that.
every state's got a different version of those. What it's for is for it triggers it goes straight to the assessor. It doesn't get recorded, and it triggers the fact that the assessor. So my point is, you want that number to be as low as possible. You don't want to get an increase in taxes.
I'm trying to let me know if you guys. I'm trying to see if you can see all the questions now. Good question, Ron. So I've got three here. Um, T. White asks, I just starting this week. Great. Started looking for counties. Great. Wondering if taxsales.com is still recommended since it's no longer free to get the tax sales. I just talked about this with somebody today because you need to have you want to answer this, you only need to have an indication. You
Yeah.
want to show it? This comes up every couple. We need to make something in a video and
Well,
just post it. Yeah,
that's what CountyWise does.
exactly.
We are starting our own. It's under construction. If you go to countywise.com, you'll see when it's going to be released. But
Hmm.
it's the whole internet slow. I'm going to give you a replacement way to do this.
Thank you. Oh, there you go. Are they have something going on with their site?
Yeah, I've tried to
Which I'm
buy.
not
I tried
surprised.
to buy it.
Right.
I tried to buy this whole company, and it just didn't work. So we started our own.
Hey
My
Amy,
goodness,
if the Amy here on this
I don't know.
group is the Amy I talked to today, give me a hi because this is also for you.
You know what? I will post over this weekend. I will post all the a list of counties, a list of all the counties in the country, and how many back taxes they have, like on a spreadsheet on Success Plan or something like that.
Okay.
That'll solve this for good.
Okay. Thank you. Good deal. But we're solving it. And right. Okay. T. White said it. Any recommendations for finding counties to getting started beyond what's in the course? No, that's it. For picking a
Yeah, so we
county?
have a
No.
policy. This hasn't come up in quite some time. We kind of have an unwritten policy that um, we don't really, beyond the information that, it's leading the horse to the water, but you can't make it drink kind of thing.
Hmm.
You have to get good at, and you have to fail at, which is the only way you're going to get good at choosing your own counties.
Hmm.
And here's why. Here's the methodology. There's a couple of people in this group that have chosen counties that I would never, ever have thought that they should ever spend a dollar sending mailer out, and they're making 6 digits a month. They're making a couple $100,000 a month in counties like in the Midwest or the Rust Belt that I would not. I would have bet money it didn't work. So for me to give advice about the counties that which county you should choose and shouldn't
Hmm.
choose, it's trust me, it works in every county, and I'm not exaggerating. What you forget about which county you're choosing, and just understand that $100 an acre is certainly not going to work in every county. You have to get really good at logical pricing to
Hmm.
be good at this.
Exactly. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I like Joel's. Yeah, this the secret list. I love the secret list of 3,400 plus counties. That's true. That's really good. Well, thank you too. By the way, Luke said, I'm reading this in the comments here, and I even pulled it that there's a $30 report with Title Pro that shows even more detail.
Oh,
So that's really cool. I haven't even played with that. All right, Brian asks, I'm finding in the data that I purchased for Tulare County, California, that there are a lot of properties, smaller lots in developed areas with existing houses that are basically just shells that need to be removed. Do you recommend avoiding these or just treating them like vacant lots or what?
careful with that because they might have liens on them. So, no, I wouldn't avoid it. You know,
Hmm.
I spoke with a person on a deal review call and encouraged them to buy a $500 mobile home and dump it on a property because now you don't have a raw piece of property.
Hmm.
Now you have a mobile home that's on property. You don't have to connect it. You don't have to do anything. Just it turns it into a much. I mean, think about. So look at the screen right here. What if there's? Would you buy this property, or one with a mobile home right on the?
Hmm.
I know which one I would look at first
Yep.
as a buyer.
We talked about that. Remember that? Well,
You can
about
buy a shed at Home Depot.
we were
Even
gonna
we
do
have
that.
we have a member that buys like these sheds, used sheds at Home Depot, tough sheds,
Uh-huh.
puts it on there, calls it a tiny house. Make sure you shoot the inside of it that it's unfinished completely. But anything you can do to separate your piece of dirt from the next guy's is good.
Hmm. Luke isn't thinking that we can't put mobile homes on land pin.
Oh, we'll I'll look in. I'll make sure that's not the case. Look,
Okay.
you are right. That's not the policy. You can't put houses and stuff on there
Right.
because it skews the math and the analytics and the whole thing. But
Right.
if you're just dumping a mobile on there, it's fine.
Or
We'll
shed.
figure it out.
Yeah. All right, cool. Claire, hi Claire. Claire says when you scrape emails from Landwatch, what kind of email do you send them? Oh, info on specific pieces of land that you have for sale. How do you introduce yourself?
This is what I say. So that could be considered as spam. So I do just like we do a mail merge. For just like we do a mail merge to send letters out to owners, you do an email merge that says, "Hey, Jack, um, I noticed that you have a piece of property listed on Landwatch in Mojave County, Arizona. Would you be buy property there all the time? If you're interested in uh, getting a relatively frequent email, or a weekly email, let's say, of all the properties that we're purchasing, you know, and by the way, we're purchasing them for a lot less money than the one that you have listed. Um, please opt in here and give them a link to Aweber or Nailsjump or whatever you use.
You know what I would do too? I would even, Claire,
It
include a
really
few
works.
properties, give them examples of
Yeah,
here's the kind of stuff I buy and here's where it's priced.
yeah,
Because that's will get my attention.
yeah. So the opt-in rate, I mean, it's staggering.
Hmm.
Usually, when you do that in a non-intelligent way, it's if you get a 1% return rate, it's good. The opt-in rate for that, the way doing it from that way, is like, oh, geez, it's like 90%.
Right. Exactly. Okay. So, Brian asks, in the purchase offer that Jack used in the training program, I'm on the one of the line where it says seller to retain mineral rights at seller's request. I'm not sure why this line should be there, and it seems like it might complicate things. Is there a good reason for keeping it in? Because I'm tempted to remove it.
Yeah,
Am I
remove it.
overlooking something?
You can remove it.
Yeah, either way.
That I would encourage you to be creative. Jill and I get offers on our property from members all the time,
Yeah, I love it. Who did I
and
get?
some of them
Shucks, I can't remember
don't.
who's.
They don't look anything like the template that we
Yeah,
use. So I
you
would
guys
encourage you to
don't know this, but yeah,
get
you're
creative.
mailing stuff to us. You know what I thought about too? Because I know I saved that one the other day.
Yeah,
I'm gonna start saving all of your offer letters, and I'm gonna do something cool with them. I don't know what, but I love getting those. I will probably. I need to. I probably should just sign them and send them back. So I'll
That'd
do
be
that.
funny.
Do you know what I? You know what? No, maybe I sign them and send them back with something cool, like a gift or something like nice. I might. This would be fun. I'm gonna come up with something with that. Okay. Um. So what are the rules? Michael's asking. So what are the rules on posting pictures and videos on Landpin?
Their rules are whatever I make up.
I know that.
They're IT driven because you're not supposed to have any graphics. All right, that's the problem because there's all kinds of software that resizes images. So generally, you're not supposed to have any graphics inside the. We're going to loosen that up at some point, and you can't post houses, and here's why:
Mhm.
because when the full blown real site gets released, there will be all kinds of analytics. You'll be able to search for price per acre. And when you post a house, it just skews the whole thing and all of it. So
Mhm.
the biggest rule is this: please don't post a house, and please don't put a lot of. Even though I talk about it in the program, please don't put tons of graphics
Okay.
in the images.
Right. Let the
And again,
photos
that
speak for themselves.
we will loosen
Yeah.
all that up.
Cool.
We're getting incredible reports about people selling property on LandPen.
Uh-huh. I have some good comments in here too. Like, thank you, Nick's. Like, I'm sorry I missed your call. I was on the phone with a seller who's who wants to sell, and this is really good what Joel just said. He's had a few people on my voicemail where I see I should have offered more before I speak with them, and I get ready to give them a higher offer, only to hear them say, "When can you send the check?"
Yep,
How great is that? You're like, "I would have gone higher." Don't have to. They're happy. Um, that's so good. I like the offers from the 7 star, the ones with the watermark or the logo on them.
I do too, Luke.
Yeah.
Believe me, I like graphics and images.
Hmm.
It's causing a lot of problems for IT, which they are solving.
Hmm.
And when the full blown real site gets released, you will be able to put graphics on your images.
Cool.
And we will have a separate place because we're the wholesaling houses program. The house version of the cash flow from land program will be released later this year or early next year. I'm not sure yet.
Hmm.
And we will have a separate place on Landfin because everybody's going to want to wholesale houses after you
Oh
see
gosh,
how Jill and I
yes.
wholesale houses and how successful it is and how much money you can make doing no work, almost no work at all. You're going to want it. We're going to need a place to.
I know
It
you've
might
already
be on
grabbed
Landfin or it might not
some
be.
of
We'll see.
those websites already. I know you have a lot of other websites
Yeah,
that are related. Good. Jessica asks, she's I'm at um, listening in while I'm at work and I keep getting work calls. Darn it. So I'm missing some of the great answers. When do these recorded calls become available?
on Friday.
Okay.
So the Friday following the call.
Okay.
There is not one from yesterday.
Yeah. Last week's got goofed. We
Last week, yeah.
apologize. So, all right. And you know where to find them, I'm sure, in the pro area here. All right. Yeah. So anyone who's a member who has what is really now offers to owners, you in the pro area, you can just go back and listen to all these old recorded calls. There's lots of good stuff here. So cool. Curious said, asked if we're mailing an area that's really hot right now, population explosion. How do you recommend we price our offer? 50 to 75% of market price. We tried some at 25% and got only hate. I
Yeah.
love how you spelled that. We're thinking of trying again in a few months at a higher level.
I'm assuming this is for you guys. I know, Carrie, you have house experience. I'm assuming this is for land. If you're in a populated area, you want to price property 25%. Really, we don't even go out at 25%. We usually go around 40.
Mhm.
So I'd say 50%. Yeah, 75 that's pretty high.
Mhm.
There's a few members in this group who their whole model is they chuck the 40% and they literally sell them they buy properties for like 90%, 80%. And the response rate is staggeringly positive. But
Mhm.
you got to have a lot of capital because you're not going to move those properties as fast as the rock bottom priced ones.
Mhm.
And also, if you larger lots take longer to sell. I mean,
Mhm.
smaller lots take longer, in my opinion, longer to sell. Large acreage properties, for some reason, if you have the right list, the right buyer list,
Mhm.
they sell the first week.
Yeah. I think I love like the 5 acres. Five seems to be a good
Yeah.
number people like. So I agree. Cool. All right. Luke asks, how do you answer the phone? Oh, I have something to share on
Oh,
this. Hold, please. How do you, because I have some good stuff to share. How do you answer the phone when sellers are calling? I keep getting ready to duck when I pick up the phone, but then some say yes. Now I just ask if they want a seller, how I can help. That's perfect. Okay, so I am Jill Live right now is in it's working. I am personally using it and testing it right now for a couple weeks. And this I'm an the company that I have two great things. You can have them deliver it, you could have them forward calls to you, you can have them deliver messages to you. Here's what I'm doing. I'm having them answer all of our calls right now. And I'm having them at the end of the day, every day at 5 o'clock, email me the spreadsheet of any call that was not land related. And then on the property ones, I'm having them save them up for me and do them for me once a week. So I can just sit and go through them all at one time. So my point of sharing this with you is this company I'm working with right now, dream it up. They can do and deliver these messages and forward calls and everything any way you
it's a
like.
local personal relationship Jill has had for a lot of years.
Yeah.
That owns this company, and it will be priced substantially less than Pat Live,
Hmm.
and the quality is substantially better.
Yeah. And here's the next thing that we're working on. So not only am I working on the posting thing, Jill Live, that's after I get this rolling, that's next. But we're also going to look at seeing if my same company can handle everybody's mail.
Yeah, so you can have all your mail delivered, and then so you never have to go to the mailbox again,
Right.
and all the letters get uh, scanned in for you immediately. All the return mail.
Yeah, I'm super excited about that. Mike asks, is population explosion always equivalent to subdivided areas with regards to 40% of market value?
Pricing is just such an interesting topic. You know, we could sit here and talk about pricing the whole time.
Hmm.
Letter, I never, every mailer I've ever done, I it takes me hours to come up with pricing. You have to review, and I wish there was like an algorithm or an equation or a hard and fast rule that applies to everyone. It doesn't. Like in Santa Barbara, we're buying these multi-million dollar ranches, and we're probably paying 70, 80% of what they're probably worth.
Hmm.
And there we mark them up 100 grand, and that's it.
Hmm.
And they sell fast. They
Yeah,
almost. I'm trying to think of. They sell before we close.
that kind of stuff, yes.
It's such a closed market.
Right. Kyria asks to clarify, we're talking east of the Mississippi, and we have a developer who wants to buy, so size is immaterial. That's fantastic.
That's just. I mean, that's the premise of the house.
Uh-huh.
That's the premise of the SFR program, the single family residential program. If you can do a mailer for an already established buyer who's got a bunch of money, and they basically put their order in, so to speak, that's the best situation you can be in.
Hmm.
And chances are they already know. When I talk about building an A list again, go into RealQuest and see who owns property. See who owns like 500 properties or 40 properties in the area that you want to mail. That person, I can guarantee it, they should be the top person on your list because they're clearly collecting land in the area.
Hmm. Exactly. How are you going to deal with deeds in the mail processing? Cashier's checks or regular checks? Some of that, I mean, the payments are going to have to be forwarded directly to you,
Yeah.
anything like that. And deeds, but we can still have them scan them all in, and then once a month or once a week, whatever
Once a
you
week, you get
want.
a FedEx. You get
Yeah,
a USPS trackable box.
and they can just send all that to you too, and just, you know.
That's how we go back and forth from California, and we have people on both ends of it
Hmm. Yep,
do that for us.
exactly,
It's like Christmas when that box comes.
exactly.
Plus, sometimes we're on boats and stuff, and they have to send it to the dock
There you
master.
go.
If everybody here accomplishes what they're actually here for, you'll be on a boat too.
Well, I'll be on boats. That's right. I love it. Jack's boat shopping again. This is what's
Yeah.
happening right now in my world. All right, Kathleen. Hi, Kathleen. Dovetailing on curious question about pricing. is 25% of listing prices, mainly for Western parcels.
Yes.
In regular, not really hot markets in different areas of the country, should we consider pricing at higher
Yes.
percentages? Yes, 30, 40,
Yep.
50 of listing
You
price.
should.
Yep, exactly.
It's a very, very, very good question.
Mhm.
Again, I wish there's hard and fast rules for this, but you know, somebody called me Captain Obvious recently, and I just think that's amazing.
I like that.
I'm
I
going to
know
be
it.
Captain Obvious about this.
That was so good. Yes. Yep.
The higher you price the offers, the more response you're going to get, and the longer it's going to take to sell. But you will still make money.
Hmm. Exactly.
The lower the offer is, the more hate you're going to get.
Well,
The lower the response you're going to get, but you're going to make a ton of money quickly.
yep.
But you're going to have to deal with a bunch of stuff, and you have to send a ton of mail out.
Let me. I just want to remind everyone too. Let's the margins that we experience is so different than any other business. I mean, think about it. We were going to do a show about stock market, comparing stock market to
Yeah,
real
we are
estate.
next week.
And I mean, I don't want to. Can't get greedy. What if you
I
make?
talk about it in the program.
I mean, what if?
Target makes Target, the retail store. They
Right?
have 3%
Isn't
profit margins.
Costco a 15% thing? Isn't that what they?
15% markup. Costco makes nothing.
Right. Right.
They
It's
only
on the
make it on the
membership.
subscription.
Exactly. So I guess that's what I want to. You could do this business a lot of different ways. This is how we chose to do it.
House real estate investment, historically, it's 11% since World War II. If you buy a house, it goes up. The value goes up 11% a year. We're talking about making 100 to 1,000% in a week.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Thank you, Jerry. Yeah, you said, yeah, pricing takes forever. We're working on it for a week, but once it's done, it's done.
Once it's done, and if it's done right,
Yep.
you count the money, laugh at it all the way to the bank or
Exactly.
the boat dock or whatever.
Right. Um. Oh, hey, thanks for sharing that, Joel. I made a killing on Apple stock, but he just cashed out of Apple to get some more capital for this.
That's perfect.
That's
Oh my
great.
God, that's going in that show.
Oh, that's
That's a
so
perfect
good.
example of what I'm talking about. Like
That's great.
Apple stock is like, I think it's set records.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Michael said or asked, do larger acreages sell more easily because you have a wholesale buyers list, or do you sell to retail folks too?
Almost always wholesale buyers list.
But I do. I don't. When people call me, I tell them. I have sometimes I have to explain it to them. Why is this so low? Well, because I typically sell to wholesalers who they're going to turn around and make more money. But you know what? I sell to everyone, so you can get that same price too.
This is what you do. If you got 40 acres in Colorado, go to Land Watch and Land and Farm and Land Pin. And assuming you're pricing it correctly, right? You're doing it the way we talk about you're not selling it for retail. And so in Colorado, this is all the properties in Costilla County, Colorado. Whatever, there's a total of this many pages full, but I think right here it says it's 450 plus 26 plus, so it's 500. There's about 500 properties posted. All right, pay somebody to get these email addresses or get a scraper. Somebody in this group is going to buy that property. Someone in this group right here of properties owners in Costilla County, they're going to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
They will buy your 40 acres and they'll buy it that day.
Awesome. All right. Can you find it for me? Thank you. I love this. This question makes me giggle, Luke. I love it. People keep asking about. I have a comment on this. People keep asking about a mailing address on their new land. How do you respond to that question?
I've never gotten that
Do you know
question.
what I would say? Let me know when the mailbox is up and you can get to the mail.
I don't know what I've never
That's
honestly,
so
look, I've never gotten
funny.
that question. It's
Maybe it's a tax dodge thing. They have to prove
I think you got to
they
call the
live
post office.
somewhere.
I think there's
A way to go
there's
through
probably a 6-month government process to getting it.
that. And they have to have a place to deliver the mail. They're not just going to leave it on the dirt. Could you imagine? Oh my gosh.
I'm
What?
stumped. I
You
can't
know
believe
what?
they asked
Can
this.
I? How about this? I'm gonna put an
Well,
envelope.
we sell to wholesalers.
Wait,
That's why.
envelope with a stamp, and I'm gonna put the legal description on there and pop it in the mail.
It's like sending it, like when your kids are little, send the note to the North Pole. No zip code or
Exactly the
anything.
North Pole. Oh my gosh, that is funny. It's good.
Make
No,
something up, Luke.
that's good.
Okay, will you report back to us when you find out?
Well,
That's a crack up.
wait. I have a good one. This is a good one. This is what I got. I had a guy that said, Are you gonna meet me there and show it to me?" And I said, "No, but I'll leave a key under the mat." It took him a minute.
Have you ever gone out and looked at real estate? This type of real estate, it all looks the same.
Yeah,
You don't have to go stand on that lot.
exactly. Oh my gosh. That's so funny. This is so, oh, I see why. Oh, maybe that's why. Curious says she gets it too. They can't seem to find their land. So oh, well, let me make sure everybody knows this too.
Well,
So maybe they want an address
partial
because they're going to
facts.
pop it in their phone. But hold on a moment. A GPS works the same way in your phone where you put in 123 Main Street. I haven't tested this with Uber or Lyft putting it in, but it might work. But I bet it would, but you could put a GPS the coordinates in on your phone, and then some I've had whenever I talk to retail buyers, I've had to tell them type it in exactly like this, and it'll pop right up on your phone. And then we used to put driving directions way back when, so people could find the property, but now we don't have to. So it's so nice. All right, Nick said, Jack and Jill. I have a seller that has contacted me several times to sell a 420-acre farm in Ohio. I told him, too nice for me, but he says, have an investor. Their appraisal amount is $5 million and change here. Doubt this would pan out in the long run, but how much do I need to negotiate them down before you guys want to buy it with me? This is going to be so good on Land Crowd Fund. This would be perfect. We don't have that side up yet.
Yeah. Um, how much to answer your question? If it's anywhere near 3 million, then please reach out to me directly at jack@landacademy.com and we'll get it done.
Mhm.
These are the kinds of deals that Jill and I do right now. And farmland is a commodity, all right, in that part of the country. It doesn't, buying properties, you don't, pricing farmland, we should do a package on this.
Mhm.
Pricing farmland is way different than what we do. If you have a seller, because it's a commodity, it's like, if you go into a coffee shop anywhere in the Midwest and you ask and you stand up and you say, how much is an acre of farmland going around here? They'll all sit there and everybody will tell you 9,000, 8,000, 9,000, 8,000, something that's all very similar. So if it's appraised at 5 million and the guy wants to just liquidate it for 2 to 3 or even $4 million, I would love to do that deal.
Mhm.
That's where this is all going.
Mhm.
We're all just practicing with these rural vacant land.
Mhm. Really good. Yeah, I
This
hear
is
you,
not for
Kyria.
us. We're there, but I think that's um,
Kyria,
go
so
ahead.
sorry, go ahead.
Please be creative with how you use this data.
Mhm.
You could all be retired in a year. I'm not joking around.
That's yeah. Sometimes I have to. Some of the buyers, you can tell if they're calling you too many times and they don't understand GPS coordinates and all that good stuff. I don't think this is for them.
Yeah.
They might. You know what? That's a perfect person that. You know what? There's a purpose for real estate agents. They might need a real estate agent seriously to drive them
Yeah,
around.
there's this thing called Google, and if you Google what is GPS and how to use it,
But some people don't get that. It's
then they
just
shouldn't be buying the land.
that's
That's why
what
we
I'm
don't deal with
saying.
retail customers.
They-
If I sound cynical, it's because I am. That's why you just
exactly.
just do yourself a favor and get a 10 or 15 AAA awesome customers,
Hmm.
and you just don't have to horse around with any of this stuff.
Hmm. Well, I used to. This is a great for everyone too. When you sell property to people, ask them. By the way, do you want me to keep you in my Rolodex, basically, keep
Hmm.
you in the loop when I have more properties like this come along?
They're
And
all going to say yes.
yeah, and exactly. So keep these,
When
everyone
you
that
know,
you sell to
by the
right
way,
now is now on your platinum
by
buyers
the way,
list.
the first person that should be on your buyers list is Jill and I.
Yeah.
We should be right there at the top.
Hmm.
We buy a lot. Turns out we buy a lot of real estate.
Exactly. Thank you, Luke. He said, tell them to talk to the local post office and just fill out the paperwork. They'll probably tell you to put out a mailbox by some local crossroad and then drop the mail off there. Got it. Jerry said, I own a lot of farmland in the mid South. Huge
Good
opportunity.
for you, Jerry. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's really, really good.
You know, farmland. The thing about farmland is you can lease it. It's you can lease it overnight to a farm operator.
Hmm.
You want to talk about, you know, worry-free return.
Right,
My gosh,
right.
remember those people were here one season. They had somebody was farming their land, growing strawberries, and they were just driving around in Rolls Royces and stuff.
I don't remember that. No,
There's cocktails involved.
I'm not surprised. I don't remember that. So yeah, and I know people that in like Colorado that owned a ton of land, and this was years ago. They passed on, but they would just they live on part of it and they lease it out for grazing.
Yeah, I bought a ranch in Deming, New Mexico one time for $100 an acre. It was all cut up in 40s and 20s, and
Hmm.
I leased it for a few years before I sold it to a rancher, an adjacent. It was an adjacent rancher.
Yep.
I don't know what they were grazing in Deming. It wasn't grass.
That's funny. I really only need the property for about 3 months. That's funny. Yeah, thank you. Kevin was saying too. He asked them, and they several do say yes. I will buy more. So cool. How are we running out of questions? Is this?
Yeah.
How is everybody so quiet? This is kind of quiet today. Usually I'm like, hurry up, Jack, hurry up, Jack. We have to get through all these questions. Is everybody? This is actually everybody's on the phone right now. Obviously selling, like Nick. So that must be what's
You
going
can ask
on.
us anything if it doesn't have to be about land. Like you can ask Jill, like,
Oh no.
what's the natural color
No,
of your hair?
that's funny. No, we're not gonna go there. You're silly. What's too steep for a step? Oh, this is good. What's too steep for a septic tank installation?
What's too steep?
Wow,
Hey, can you?
that's did that come up for you, Luke?
I would heavily encourage you to remove that, remove septic tank from your vocabulary because that's just so 1950s. There are so many very creative
Hmm.
alternative ways to install sewer facilities
Hmm.
on land, especially if you're not in an HOA.
Hmm.
Same thing with water collection and rainwater and
Having
power.
it delivered.
You know, this off the grid thing is not. Jill and I keep threatening to get a bunch of suppliers for all this off the grid, like solar panels and stuff,
Hmm.
and actually build a house, have them sponsor the whole thing on our land. We should do that.
Right, we
Like,
should.
yeah, we should add that
Because
to
we
our
thought that would, yeah,
we have
let's
9
do
million
that.
websites we're launching.
That's a good idea. Let's roll that right in.
There's so many creative ways for all that stuff.
We thought we'd make a show out of that
Yeah.
because that would be cool. People would like to see that. So,
I mean, you can very efficiently distill seawater, you know.
hmm, you know what, Andy? I don't have anything on there right now, but I still use it. Andy asked if we still use post properties on eBay. Yeah, and I've got a few awesome stories of. Didn't Michelle have one they just sold on eBay? Like, and it ended up. I think he had like a bidding war, which you always do at the very end. And I want to say one guy backed out, and it worked out. And so the number two guy was so happy to have it. And then I don't remember how that went,
Yeah.
but the answer is yeah. Don't. It's still a good thing. So it's not perfect, obviously, because sometimes they don't pan out. Some because you know that how people how why people hand their laptops to their 6-year-old and their 6-year-olds bid on properties and win. I don't know, but those are the stories that I've got. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. You really expect
Yeah.
me to believe that?
Come
That is
on.
not true.
Not the case at all.
So sometimes they say things like that, but Luke did say, I've got one on a hill with an ocean view. Wow. Locals say you can't build there because you can't put in a septic tank. That's so sweet.
Hey, so you have to apply for a variance.
Yeah.
California's good about this. I'm assuming it's in California. If you
Sometimes they
apply
just
for a
don't know.
variance, you can get you can usually people say property's unbuildable. It's
Mhm.
like a grapevine. It's like a rumor mill.
It is. I've
It's a
had
bunch of crap.
I've had county people tell me stuff like that.
Get
I'm
it
like,
from
that's so not true,
planning and zoning. Doesn't even know.
because they heard it from
Yeah,
somebody else, and then I'm like, yeah, no.
exactly, Joe.
So okay.
Show me the statute that tells you that you can't put a septic tank on that lot, and then I'll believe it. I bet there isn't one.
Mhm.
They just don't want to fill out any paperwork.
Right. Chuck said and I still argue that you have to check again too if it has wheels. Does it have to be site built? But what if there's a tiny house solution?
Hmm.
Thank you.
On sales comps, if you're in a relatively urban county,
This
you
is
can
for
get them.
Chuck.
You can get them. What the question is: are there any updates on the best way to acquire good comps, good sales comparison values? If you're in an urban county, you can get them right off of RealQuest. Kathleen's become an expert at this. There are a couple of websites that are. One of them starts with a P that I'm going to include as a subscription to the next to the gold membership, where you just type in an APN and it literally gives you all the comps like in a Zillow format. It's in a Math Zillow format. It's really, really, really cool. So in the meantime, uh, you might want to call the assessor. They'll,
Mhm.
they'll, they'll there's two sources of comps from the assessor and also from um, the MLS. And I don't place a lot of stock in that.
Mhm.
You want to stick to the assessor.
Because I don't know how well if it's really updated and
If you're doing a lot of dotted deals in one county, I know Jill and I always say don't ever go buy county data. It's a mess. But if you're getting really good in one county or three counties, go buy their data and put together. I mean, it's probably going to be the same as I guess RealQuest, but
right. All right, we're going to try to get through these last questions here because we're getting close to 4. Nick said, "Good job. My first mailer didn't work out well, but my second is working great. For anyone that out there that feels they are struggling, don't give up. Just get a bit more creative."
yeah,
Awesome.
that's great advice.
Thank you. That was perfect. What's your favorite alternative sewer system? Jason asked to recommend to buyers.
I don't have one really. You know why? Because it changes all the time.
Yeah, there's new
Even 2 years
solutions.
ago, the stuff that's from a tech standpoint that's out there is amazing.
Hmm.
My favorite sewer system is an RV.
You know what? I like that. That's right. All mine are on wheels too. That's
I know.
that would be my first solution. Jason said, "Did the APN finder demo? Oh, from the other week, find the Texas
No.
APNs."
Um, the answer is yes, it did. And we, when we released Parcel Fact, we're like a week away from releasing Parcel Fact.
Mhm.
It will have an example for every state and every county of the format that's acceptable.
Cool. Eric said, "There are propane toilets out there. Wow, nothing but ash to dispose of."
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
that's
what I'm saying. That's a
awesome.
perfect example. See,
See?
I've never heard of that, and 20 minutes on Google is going to put you right where you need to be on all this stuff.
Exactly. Awesome. Luke says California Humboldt listed on the hoop
Yeah, I
board.
saw that on Hootboard.
Cool.
Hey, I'm going to put a thing up here. 1 second.
Okay.
I would like to know how many people in our group use Hootboard, and I'll do a poll. Hootboard. I'm sorry, Dealboard.
So if we could, as we're wrapping up here, take this little poll real quick. Did it show up here? Hang on a second. It should pop up here in just a minute.
Did I save it?
You did save it. Cool. There we go. Cool. All right. So it should pop up here.
I'm going to move it to LandPen.
Thank you. Okay.
and it'll only be for members.
All right. Well, it's just not much more.
No, on where
Yeah.
you can't legally, but people do it all the time.
Right. You can until they catch up with you.
Yeah,
So like that. And here, this question for everyone is on eBay: can you accept PayPal? No, they stopped. They used to do property a long, long time ago, and then they stopped
I
allowing
think
real
eBay
estate.
forces you to use PayPal as a payment method, right? The
eBay,
the only payment method.
right?
eBay is what I mean. I'm sorry.
Well, no, you could check other. I mean, you could check, but to go to do it through eBay, it's they're linked with PayPal.
Yeah.
But yeah, but you could still, when they close, they send you a check.
So
Or they wire you or
here's the
whatever you do.
deal. It's all complaint driven. You could buy. Jill and I did thousands and thousands of deals on eBay, but with PayPal. And one day, somebody came into the office and told us we can't do it anymore.
Hmm.
So, are you going to get caught? No. Does everybody do it? Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so Jessica asks, I'm trying to get through here. We're supposed to buy with a warranty deed and sell on a special warranty deed. Do buyers question why it's a special warranty deed as opposed to a warranty deed?
In all the years I've been doing this, I've maybe had two people question it.
Right. And if
And
anybody
then I
really,
said yes.
yeah, and
I'm
then
like, yeah,
fine.
if it makes you feel better, sure, I'll do it.
Exactly. Most people don't even think about it. You're the expert.
Hmm.
So yeah. Luke said, Title Pro recent sales looks at the deeds and transfer tax for comps, or pull the data and see what the recent sales were.
Yeah.
Awesome. So there's so much in Title Pro. I need to sit and spend like a week there.
Yeah. We need
So
to do some better, good education videos.
that's common. Do you guys ever mail expires? Oh, ever to expired things off the MLS? I
No.
know the MLS sucks for buying, but I bought a lot of houses as expired.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and no, but
Yeah.
I'll tell you what expired mailers work. When a tax lien expires, if you go to Maricopa County and look up expired tax liens, all right, so what happens is you buy a tax lien, two things happen. Either one, the person who owns the property pays the tax lien, they pay it, and then you get your 16% if it's in Arizona. Or they redeem the thing and the property, the real estate, um, you know, or the person who owns the tax lien, it gets sold, they foreclose on it and they own the land. Well, a lot of times, the third thing is it just expires. And that's usually because the person who bought the tax lien is bad at accounting or they died. And man, I'll tell you, you can buy expired tax liens all day. We should do a program on that.
Mm-hmm.
You can buy real estate that has expired tax liens all day.
Right. Awesome. Andy says, I have a terms deal on eBay right now. Winner pays the down payment plus $25 a month for 96 months. Bidding is up to $26. I paid $100 for the property.
That's just,
That's
what's the
hilarious.
return on that?
Oh my gosh. You know what, Andy? Think
Let's
about
calculate.
this.
Hold on. Let's
Think about
calculate the
this.
return.
Okay, we got to hurry though because it's after 4 and
Why?
you and I have somewhere to be.
Oh, we do. That's
Yes,
right.
yeah. We have another thing.
What's more fun than this?
I know, but we have appointments that we have to make, so it's all good. He said 1,000%. He's already got
You
it for you.
calculated it? All right.
That's awesome. Okay, yes, Jerry, Jill Live. I gave a quick little. Actually, I'll wrap with that. Okay. Luke said some of my buyers relist the land on eBay and sell it and come back for more. I think that's the best thing on the planet.
That is a customer.
I love
That
it.
is a wholesale customer. That's not the same mailbox guy.
Right. This is so good. I love it. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to end with, and thank you for everyone who completed our little survey here.
Dealboard's really cool. It's getting really, really popular. It's taken like a year to kick in.
Mhm.
Like a bunch of Luke's properties are on there. We buy property on there. We're buying some property on there right now. Um, you know, Dealboard's really cool. It's something we don't talk about enough, and I don't even think it's on the. You should check it out.
Right. Okay, so my last little note is Jill Live is being tested and used personally for us with our business phone. If you guys want to hear how they sound, call our number. And
Yeah.
yeah, give it, yeah, if you so go for it. We're and I want a couple more weeks playing with this, and then I'm going to do I have some early adopters lined up that reached out to me. Have them test a little bit, and then I'm going to open it up for more. I'm working on, and they can and dream it up. Whatever you want. You want them to forward the call. You want them to email you, text you, whatever it is, deliver the message to you. They can. They could do it. What I'm doing right now is I'm having them at the end of the day, every day at 5 o'clock. I get an email. of a spreadsheet of all the calls that came in that were not property related. I'm even having them separate them out for me because some are business stuff I need to know about. And then the property ones I'm getting as a bulk once a week, so it's really going to be cool. So
Cool.
I love them, and I gave them a great script, and it's going to be awesome. So thank you. Good
Do you have any
question.
idea on pricing it?
No,
Just a lot cheaper than Padlock.
it's gonna
Will it be
be
half?
well, yeah, it's gonna. Well, I'm not gonna lock everybody into a huge amount if you don't use it. So I'm gonna have a lot more tiers,
Uh-huh.
based on your
Use
usage,
yeah. So
and we can
you
roll
pay
it
for
up,
what you
roll it
use,
down. Yeah, pay for what you use, not like you're locked into X. So it's
and
it's
it'll
gonna
be
be awesome.
included with gold.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool, awesome. All right. Well, thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
Glad you
Thanks.
are here, and great questions.
Yeah.
And we hope everybody has a great weekend. And
And we're hoping that the recording device does not malfunction for this call. And so if you missed it, you want to go back through it tomorrow on Success Point, we'll be all set.
wonderful.
Yeah.
All right.
Same time next week, same meeting number. Thank
Thanks.
you.
Bye.